The Law of One, Book 1, Part 13, Session 7, January 25, 1981. I am Ra. I greet you in the love and the light of our infinite Creator. I communicate now. Questioner. You mentioned that there were a number of members of the Confederation of Planets. What avenues of service or types of service are available to the members of the Confederation? I am Ra. I am assuming that you intend the service which we of the Confederation can offer, rather than the service which is available to our use. The service available for our offering to those who call us is equivalent to the square of the distortion need of that calling divided by, or integrated with, the basic law of one in its distortion indicating the free will of those who are not aware of the unity of creation. Questioner. From this, I am assuming that the difficulty that you have in contacting this planet at this time is the mixture of people here, some being aware of the unity and some not. And for this reason, you cannot come openly or give proof of your contact. Is this correct? I am Ra. As we just repeated through this instrument, we must integrate all of the portions of your social memory complex in its illusory disintegration form. Then the product of this can be seen as the limit of our ability to serve. We are fortunate that the law of service squares the desires of those who call. Otherwise, we would have no beingness in this time-space at this present continuum of the illusion. In short, you are basically correct. The thought of not being able is not a part of our basic thought form complex towards your peoples, but rather it is a maximal consideration of what is possible. Questioner. By squared, do you mean that if 10 people call, you can count that, when comparing it to the planetary ratio as 100 people, squaring 10 and getting 100? I am Ra. This is incorrect. The square is sequential. 1, 2, 3, 4, each squared by the next number. Questioner. If only 10 entities on Earth required your services, how will you compute their calling by using the square method? I am Ra. We would square 1/10 sequential times, raising the number to the 10th square. Questioner. What would be the result of this calculation? I am Ra. The result is difficult to transmit. It is 1012 approximately. The entities who call are sometimes not totally unified in their calling, and, thus, the squaring slightly less. Thus, there is a statistical loss over a period of call. However, perhaps you may see by this statistically corrected information the squaring mechanism. Questioner. About how many entities at present on planet Earth are calling for your services? I am Ra. I am called personally by 352,000. The Confederation in its entire spectrum of entity complexes is called by 632 million of your mind, body, spirit complexes. These numbers have been simplified. Questioner. Can you tell me what the result of the application of the law of squares is to those figures? I am Ra. The number is approximately meaningless in the finite sense, as there are many, many digits. It, however, constitutes a great calling which we of all creation feel and hear as if our own entities were distorted towards a great and overwhelming sorrow. It demands our service. Questioner. At what point would this calling be great enough for you to come openly among the people on Earth? How many entities on Earth would have to call the Confederation? I am Ra. We do not calculate the possibility of coming among your peoples by the numbers of callings, but by a consensus among an entire societal memory complex which has become aware of the infinite consciousness of all things. This has been possible among your peoples only in isolated instances. In the case wherein a social memory complex, which is a servant of the Creator, sees this situation and has an idea for the appropriate aid, which can only be done among your peoples, the social memory complex desiring this project lays it before the Council of Saturn. If it is approved, quarantine is lifted. Questioner. I have a question about that council. Who are the members and how does the council function? I am Ra. The members of the council are representatives from the Confederation and from those vibratory levels of your inner planes bearing responsibility for your third density. The names are not important because there are no names. Your mind-body-spirit complexes request names and so on. In many cases, the vibratory sound complexes, which are consonant with the vibratory distortions of each entity, are used. However, the name concept is not part of the council. If names are requested, we will attempt them. However, not all have chosen names. In number, the council that sits in constant session, though varying in its members by means of balancing, which takes place, what you would call irregularly, is 9. That is the session council. To back up this council, there are 24 entities which offer their services as requested. These entities faithfully watch and have been called guardians. The council operates by means of what you would call telepathic contact with the oneness or unity of the 9, the distortions blending harmoniously so that the law of one prevails with ease. When a need for thought is present, the council retains the distortion complex of this need, balancing it as described, and then recommends what is considered as appropriate action. This includes 1. The duty of admitting social memory complexes to the Confederation. 2. Offering aid to those who are unsure how to aid the social memory complex, requesting aid in a way consonant with both the call, the law, and the number of those calling. 3. Internal questions in the council are determined. These are the prominent duties of the council. They are, if in any doubt, able to contact the 24, who then offer consensus judgment thinking to the council. The council then may reconsider any question.